Hi guys, welcome back. Right, so since the last video I've done a bit more body work. I'm now off, just come off a night shift this morning, so I'm now off work for 4 days. So I'm hoping to have this this thing ready for paint before I go back to work. Now, since the last video I've sanded all that filler down, and what I have done, I've recut the bonnet lines, and I've recut the door lines. Now, they were cut using this, which is a trumpeter panel scriber, and then for the lines I used a mixture of this thick kind of cheap ass Dymo tape and then some of the Tamiya plastic tape. So I put that down, and then I use that as a guide. Now, what I've also done, just to open the lines up a bit, I've got this like triangular file, and I just run that down the line and open it up a little bit, then the lines aren't as sharp. What I will do is go around the edges with a single piece of sandpaper, or wet and dry paper, just to finish the edges off. Now, bodywork is pretty much done. I'm going to give it another coat of primer, but if you notice on these door lines, when it's been stripped, they've really opened up. I don't know, it seems to do that when all bodies get stripped. So I'm going to give it a coat of primer and just see what they look like. But yeah, the bodywork is nearly there. What it'll need is, I'm going to put some, I'm going to give it a quick coat of primer just to see where it is. But then what I'll do is I'll give it a couple of coats of like a filler primer, which will fill any kind of minor sanding scratches. I'll leave that, I'll primer that, put it in my dehydrator, and let that set up, and then give it a really good block sanding, ready for base coats and stuff like that. Now, at this point, I'm thinking about colour. I was thinking blue, so I've got these two. I will be using SMS paints, because I've got loads of them. At Telford last year, I hit the stand pretty hard and dropped a load of money on it, because it's really nice. They're all really nice pearls, and I've started using them quite a lot. I do want to explore some others like Createx paints. I know Jimmy at Kitbash Customs uses Createx. So does Tommy Moore, Scale Model Builds. He uses Createx as well. So I want to give them a good go for their candies. But then, if I've been thinking about blue, but then I've also got these colour shifts. I've got like this Abyss, which is purple, blue, orange, gold, or a red, orange, green, gold. Also, we got a green, white, purple, or a cyan, blue, purple. Or what's this one? Violet, blue, green. They'll all be quite good for it, but we'll see. I just also want to mention Jimmy at Kitbash Customs. He's started a Ranchero bubble top now, which is way more extreme than the one I'm building. His stuff is his build's going to be epic. It's rough. It's got a Beatnik Bandit bubble top. It's actually got the same front end on it as I've used on my 40 Ford. And then it's going to be carrying a Streamliner go-kart, which is just going to be epic. So if you want to go over onto his channel and check out what he does, He's just phenomenal, so inspirational. Wild Customs, he kind of sings from the same hymn sheet as me. So yeah, go and have a check out of him and see what you think. Leave a comment on his stuff. I'm sure he'd really appreciate it. But now I'm gonna kind of work on these door. Well, actually, I'm gonna go give it a coat of primer just to see exactly where we are, and whether I need to rework these door lines a little bit more. But I really do want to get this one ready for paint by Friday, and it is Tuesday today. So I want this ready for paint by the end of that. We do need to do a little bit of work around the interior surround, just to smooth that out a little bit. And as you can see, I've created a bit of shape in the dashboard here. And then what I am going to do is, while that primer is drying, I'm going to make a floating steering column for it. Because I can't figure out another way to do it. Okay, so I'll come back to you on the next clip. All right, guys, thank you. Hey, guys. Right, so since the last clip, I have pretty much got the bodywork done. I'll come back to this in a sec. So I went and reprimed it and found all the little odd bits just with a quick coat of Halford's grey primer. I've fixed those problems, give it a really good block sanding, and then I have gone over it with a couple of coats of Halford's filler primer. That now needs to sit for a few days to properly harden up. I will then block sand it. I've got a sneaky feeling that I'm going to miss the deadline, but hey ho, it is what it is. This thing is actually coming on now, and I'm really pleased with it. Now it's all in one colour, it looks superb. What I have done is, let's take, can't get the bubble out. Take the bubble out. I have sort of finalised the details on the interior. So I've gone and used a silhouette steering wheel. For some reason I felt it in order to put a red bullet in the centre of the centre console, because I couldn't, it just seemed like a good idea at the time. The gauges are going to be represented by this binnacle at the top. I think they're from a 65 El Camino or something like that. Can't honestly remember. I've got a few of them, but you can use them as gauges. I've used them in the past on something else. Just going to come back to you in a second in another clip, because I want to disassemble this now, because I want to show you something else. Right, so for a while now, I fancied having a go using corduroy as like interior upholstery. So over the last couple of days I've been messing about with it. Now, it was a very popular technique back in the 60s for recreating tuck and roll. So, as you can, just while I'm on it, as you can see, all I've literally done for the steering wheel is drill a hole into the firewall in front of the cab and stuck it through on a piece of brass, like so. And then when everything's finished, that can just push in. Yeah, so I thought, I was watching a video on Model Car News the other day, and it was an interview with Rick Hanmore, very, very famous model car builder, been doing it for a long time, and he mentioned gluing the corduroy to thin bits of plastic. So what I've done, this is just a sample piece for the seats, and because I need to make another one because it's a bit too long. Now the corduroy I've got is this stuff. It's really thin, and I got it off eBay, and I just ordered a sample, and it was £1 delivered. So I got this blue, and I've also got this purple, which I'll use for another project. But so what I did was I cut a piece of plastic, so it's 1/2 mil thick evergreen, and then white glued it using this canopy glue to painted the glue onto the plastic, and then glued it onto the corduroy. Now, what I can do then, as I say, this is just a sample one. When the seat's been painted, I can then push it in like that to the seat, and I'll glue the plastic to the seat using super glue, and it should conform to it, actually. Well, I'm hoping it will. We'll see how it turns out, but you'll have to get it positioned properly and just wrap it round. Now, Jimmy Whittle sent me a video of Ron Stewart. I think I posted a link to his page on one of my posts, and he did a video on one of his Ranchero bubble tops that he built in the 60s. Now that had a tool set in the bed. So this is what I've done. I've built a new tonneau cover out of thinner plastic. This is out of 1 mil. Then I've just got a hole in it, and then I've built a box that will glue to the underneath. That's just taped on for now, but that will glue to the underneath. And in the bottom, I just made another piece of plastic that's got corduroy on it, and then white glued a couple of tools and stuff, so that will eventually glue into the bottom of here. And then underneath on the underneath of the tonneau cover, I will put a piece of clear plastic just to give it a bit of a window, if you will, and then that'll glue from underneath, and you've got like the 60s style toolkit in the on the underneath of the tonneau cover. So yeah, that is where we're at now. I mean, the body, that is now ready for paint. So in a couple of days, I'll give that a really good block sanding, smoothing out. Chassis is ready to be painted. The interior just needs a bit of tuck and roll on the doors, and that's ready for paint. Seat's now ready for paint, and the corduroy, and then the tonneau cover, I just need to do a bit of sanding on that, and that's ready for paint. So we're not really too far off. So yeah, hopefully by the next video I'll have it all in paint, and we can start wrapping this project up. All right guys, look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thank you.